We speak with ITV and the proposed sale of Grand Park in Westfield. The city has been trying to unload the facility for months now and wanted it sold by the end of last year.
And now they're hoping to sell it by late summer. ITV's Richard Essex is following this story.
The minimum bid to buy Grand Park is $85 million. The city of Westfield still owes $77 million on the property. There is a committee reviewing the list of bids, and I am told they have narrowed that list down. But there's a chance that Grand Park may not sell.
It's our identity. It's certainly been an economic engine for our city.
But that engine is not delivering the promised economic horsepower. Last year, the city of Westfield put Grand Park up for sale. They're looking for a buyer or someone to take over the operations.
Well, first let me say, the park, there's no guarantee that the park is actually going to sell.
In order to sell Grand Park, Westfield Mayor Andy Cook put together a 5-member committee to evaluate the bids. The exact details of the bids are kept within that committee. Willis says the city would consider a lease management agreement, as well as an outright sale of the property.
From what I'm hearing, either this month or next, here in the very near future, they're going to try to narrow those bids down to their top 2. And then kind of take that into the final round of evaluation.
If Grand Park is sold outright, the new owner would have to pay property taxes on the 400 acres. Right now, since the facility is municipally owned, it is exempt from property taxes. Willis says taxes could play a major role in who operates Grand Park in the future.
Well, I think the lease could look like a variety of things. I think the primary bid is for an entity, a business, to lease the entire operation of the park. So the city would maintain control of the land, and the business of Grand Park would be leased out to a private entity. But I'm hearing rumblings that there's options to lease out the baseball portion, and then the soccer fields, lacrosse fields, football fields would be leased under a different entity.
The big question is, how much is Grand Park worth? To finance the project, the city sold their utility company for close to $50 million and took out bonds to help pay for the land and development costs. In total, Westfield taxpayers have close to $85 million invested in the property. Willis says debt payments have exceeded revenue, and the city is losing about $3 million every year.
Until you see the options, I don't even know what the purchase price bids are for. You know, is it $500 million? Is it $100 million? Is it $85 million? And those numbers would certainly change my views on the various options. Same thing with the lease. You know, they're gonna have negotiate a price for what that would be. And does that cover the debt of Grand Park? Does that put the city in the black? I can only speculate at this point.
The committee reviewing the bids has not released a timeline on when they plan to make a decision, but any decision by that committee is still subject to council approval. I am told the council would like to have this wrapped up by the end of the year. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Switch TV, ITV.